you have seen this before. So do you remember what is this? I will tell you this later. I want to define what is refugee first. Refugee is actually a kind of immigrant. The most difference between them is refugees move to other places just because they have no choice. If they don't leave the old places they used to live, they will lose their life. And why they have to leave is because many irresistible reasons, such as many different kinds of wars or the climate change. And about immigrants, they move to a place where they want to live and build a house. Another definition is from UN. In 1954, UN passed a treaty called Convention Relating to the Status of Refugee. This treaty defines what is refugee and what their qualifications and rights are. And it is also a treaty that the country which allow refugees in should observe.
好，那下一
UN also passed the World Refugee Day on 20th of June. The story of why refugees become a big group is after World War II. After this war, there are more and more refugees because of their race, religion, nationality, and political viewpoint were different from others in the place they live. So they live in fear and threaten persecution. And I want to say that. And then, so far in 2015, there are about 60 million of refugees all over the world. Let's focus on the way from the west of Asia to Europe. Because of ISIS, the Arab Spring, and the civil wars in Syria, it made lots of people don't have house to live and had to gamble their life to sail over Mediterranean Sea. We can't imagine how hard this worked because they had to walk for a long way and then made a boat by themselves to sail over the sea. The boat made of styrofoam, so it is really weak. And then when they arrived Italy or Greece, they had to walk or take a truck which is hermetic and almost airtight to go to the west of Europe. So they might lose their life inside the truck. And why will they want to move a longer way? Because they want to have a better allowance from those countries. Let's watch a video about how refugees move to other countries.
抱着手中9岁的孩子，他用尽全力向前奔跑，能走的小朋友。这一趟移动过程平均要花费2200欧元，折合台币大约8万元。大部分的人卖掉房屋、珠宝、汽车，只为了凑交通费。从中东地区出发的移民，通常会先搭飞机进入土耳其，聚集到港口城市伊兹密尔，再搭偷渡船越过海洋，前往希腊或意大利。光是这一趟旅程就需要花费大约950到1200欧元，大约是台币3万5到4万4千元。接着搭乘巴士或者小客车穿越马其顿到塞尔维亚，路途中要尽可能的躲避当地警方的盘查，交通费大约是100欧元。接下来得步行进入匈牙利境内，有些贩运集团会将大量的移民塞在狭小的货车当中越过边境，这一段旅程则要花125欧元。接着要从东欧的匈牙利移动到中欧跟北欧国家，因为路途比较遥远，要以巴士、计程车跟火车转乘，运费也比较高，大约要500欧元，约合台币18000元。移民到达目的地之后，各个国家的庇护法规不尽相同。德国提供住宿、 食物、衣物的基本需求，并且提供每个人每个月113到216欧元的现金补助金。
Then I want to introduce those countries who give shelters to the refugees. And in the beginning, I want to focus on Germany. So if you are a refugee, when you arrive in Germany, you have to go to the Foreign Affairs Bureau and apply for the formal qualification of refugees. Then you can get into the refuge and you can learn German for education. Then does Germany really want to let refugees in? Not really, because the previous Prime Minister of Germany thinks that they should let the refugees in. But the election says that the election gives us a great answer, is that the citizens voted to other political party to let the Prime Minister know that she had made the wrong decisions. And this is a group called Pegida, which is patriotic Europeans against the Islamization, demonstrated to request that the government should let the refugees, which religion is Islam, to go out of Germany. So actually, Germany isn't the country that takes the most refugees. Then we will ask the question, is that who takes the most refugees? This really surprised me a lot, because the most country that takes refugees is Africa and Middle East. And in our imagination, these countries are the poorest in the world. And they don't have enough resources for the foreigners. And the Amnesty International said that there are about 21 million of refugees. And those top 10s take the most refugees in their countries, take about 56% of refugees. Like Jordan, Turkey, Pakistan, and Uganda. And someone says, the dream is really wonderful, but the truth is horrible. Those refugees from Syria, Afghanistan, and Somalia, and Kenya hope so much to go to Europe. And they sacrifice all their life to make the dream come true. The earliest country which accepts refugees going to Sweden is Sweden. And the Denmark and Austria follow it. But because of the amount of refugees, it's too a lot. And then they turn them down. And those who were called border refugees are at the border of Greece, Turkey, and Macedonia. Those countries also don't know how to save them, so they reject them too. Some countries just block them. And at the beginning, like Poland, Czech Republic, they didn't give the refugees any hope.
There is nothing expert in precisely let the big countries like the USA or many countries in Europe, which is richer, should keep giving shelters to those refugees. But actually, most of their residents don't welcome refugees because they think that they will take away their chances of job. Also, they think if they let too much refugees to go inside their country, they will commit crimes and make the public security worse. So, should let them welcome refugees? There is an example in USA. The president of the USA, Donald Trump, made a decision after the election, after he elected the position of the president. He wants to build a large bond wall between America and Mexico because he doesn't want any Mexican to go into America. The third and the last part we want to focus on is what problem will happen after the government opens for refugees. Like what we see just now, some people will think that if there are too much refugees, there will have terrorist attack, and others said that they will have less career opportunities. Still others said that their environment will become dirty. So, do government let refugees in the future? Maybe the answer is yes. But how do those people can think from another side? Our opinion is that, first, every country except the country have refugees or the population is too much should let refugees in. And if they want to manage them, they can set a special administrative region and only allow them to live there. This may have a dispute. Some people will think that it doesn't make sense because they think those refugees should have human rights too. But I have to say that if the country say yes and allow those refugees to go in their country, they try their best to make the world peace. So I hope those people who against it can be more considerate to those government too. Second, there is a problem. Should the country give those refugees identities? I think the answer should be yes, because there are two benefits for it. One, they can control the number of refugees. And two, if there are really some criminals, they can find them as soon as possible. We also think that the area which the government set for the refugees should be clean, and it can limit the pollution and the illness. Last but not the least, we think the most important and most fundamental way to solve the refugees problem is to help solve the wars in every corner of the world. If we don't stop these terrible wars, the amount of refugees will become higher and higher. The way we think they can calm the war is to send soldiers of United Nations peacekeeping force and talk about conditions with the side which still want to fight the war first. If they can't stand it, and the soldiers will do their best to defend them. And after the peace war, the refugees should be sent back to their own countries, and they must leave. UN should give them money or people to help them rebuild the country, their hometown.
As a part of the earth, I think we should be more considerate about the events which happen now and then. We also need to believe that we all have abilities to help and solve their problems. And we should let more and more people listen to every kind of sound in the world. And this is the end of our speech. Thanks for listening.
请两位同学，我们先请陈同学还有张同学，我们先这样子。有没有台下的同学们或者是老师们想要给回馈？我可以回想一下，然后我等一下也会问一下大家一些问题哦。我觉得他们其实在谈论这个议题真的是个 big issue 就是我在我去年有去里约奥运，我带里约奥运的团，那我们那边其实有一个很特殊的墙，叫做难民墙。就是他们让有组一个难民队，让大家知道这次的奥运有组一个难民队，就在他们在谈这些的议题里面。那其实他们在移动的难民潮的这些人数，其实已经大到几乎可以变成一个国家的人数了。就这些移动当中的人，所以其实是非常非常大的一个议题。但是我们有没有关心？我非常喜欢他们最后说的 "We all are part of the world"，就是我们都是这个世界，我们都是必须要把这件事情关心在我们自己的心中的。在那么困难的单字跟这么多的这个不容易的这个词汇，还有一些国家地理，就像他们刚有一段时间讲了很多我都不知道的国家，对哪个国家的庇护什么很多，就是那些国家的位置的时候，我就觉得哎呦，这真的是一个不容易的演说。有没有从他们演说当中得到些什么，或是听到一些什么的内容？有没有同学可以给一些回馈？来，
那我觉得你们那个单词那么难啊，然后要把它很多专有名词要把它念出来是很困难，然后你们竟然可以做到，就很了不起。然后我可能会想要多听你们，就例如说你们说他们，那你们白色原因是因为战争嘛？那我可能会想要多听一些原因，虽然说时间的关系，可能就比较困难。
就个人的好，会很想要知道。
对，我会想要知道，因为虽然说我寒假有上过类似的课程，
但是就是这些大的议题会有更有好奇的人，但也很棒哦，代表说他们在提出这个议题的同时，已经让底下的听众会对于这个议题产生好奇，这其实是一件很重要的事情，就是激发底下的人对于这个议题有一些共鸣，有一些共识，我觉得这是一件很好的事情。那里面有一些，我觉得它里面有一些的动画，然后或者说是有一些的那个版面的设计，我觉得都非常好看，尤其是它的第一页，其实它的第一张投影片就很吸引我了。那我就一直很期待那个故事。我很期待那个故事可以，如果可以马上说或用故事引入，其实我觉得也是一种不错的呈现方式。那还是你们老师要不要也先给一些回馈，让大家让另外底下的老师们也可以用一些回馈。
好，那其实我是那个这位同学，他是旧生，他不是这学期我们特课的学生。那他是因为在去年，不是去年，上学期，对，上学期我们学校自己主办第2届联合成妈，就是像今天这样。然后他因为参加了一次以后，然后可能觉得很吸引他，就很有挑战性，大家可以看到现场可以跟各位同学、老师们学习，所以他又主动的来跟我说，老师我想再参加。所以他这一次他的所有的东西都是他们在私下花时间自己去酝酿的。那像这位同学就受到他的邀请，感召，然后一起加入他们两个人的阵营。那我今天让我很惊艳的是，我觉得，他在课堂上的版面，因为我是教版面设计的，在版面设计